All right, so it's the month of June. We're closing out the spring market, headed into the early summer market. There's a lot of anecdotal stuff going on out there that you're probably hearing by the water cooler, but what's really going on in this market right now? Stick around, we're gonna get into that today. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is your realtor, Nick Isgro with eXp Realty here in Central Maine. Now, today we're gonna jump right into all of the fresh statistics that just came off the press from the month of May, so we can give you your June market update. We're gonna get into all of the relevant data so that you, whether you're a buyer or a seller, are gonna be able to make the most informed decision as you move forward through these crazy markets that we've been experiencing. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you here. We do cover all things real estate here in the state of Maine, particularly in the Central Maine market. If that is of interest to you or adds value to your process into buying and selling of homes, or if you're just interested in real estate, do me a favor. Go ahead and like this video, hit the subscribe button, knock the little alarm bell. You're going to be notified every time we put out new content. All right, now let's jump right into the data. We're going to go into new listings. So new listings during the month of May that came on in the last month, 239 listings. A year ago, 245. You can see, guys, look at the trend line. This is a huge jump over the prior months. We've been slow growing. Finally, a little bit of a breakthrough here in the marketplace with more new listings coming to market, almost to the point where we're almost back to exactly where we were a year ago. That's great news if you're a buyer on the market. We know that what's been driving all of the pricing on the market right now is just simply the fact that there's a lot of people looking to buy homes, not enough homes coming to market. This is great. Whether this trend continues is going to have a huge impact in pricing as we move forward through July and August into the summer months of the real estate market here in Central Maine. So things are looking really good. Huge jump over last month, 239 new listings. Now let's see what's going on in the sales activity. All right, sold listings during the month, 152 sold listings. You can see, again, almost exactly where we were last year. Thank goodness we got the new inventory, because as we've been watching, inventory has been going down and down or barely breaking even because we're not getting enough inventory on the market. So we have a lot of new listings. Looks like we're continuing the same sales trends. So not a huge spike in sales, sales remaining relatively stable compared to last year and really to the months prior to that. As always, when we get into sold listings, I want to talk about pended listings too. Pended being homes that went under contract during the month. They're currently in escrow. At least as we ended the month, they were in escrow, but these are not really actively marketed properties. These are properties that are in escrow. They're going to be most likely closed, so we don't consider them as active listings. We consider them more in the sales category. So what's going on with pended listings during the month of May? 187 pended listings, a little bit less than last year, 198, but given the circumstances, very healthy sales activity. So we're adding new listings, but the sales activity staying very healthy, very robust during the month. So what's that going to do to overall listings, overall total listings on the market? Let's take a look. Total listings, active listings as we head into the month of June, 148 active listings. So coming up a little bit. Those new listings that came to the market during the month helped. Thank goodness. Imagine if we had only added that 100 and something like we had the month before, we'd probably be going backwards in inventory. Inventory slowly creeping up, but that's just a result of the fact that when we look at the pended numbers and the sales numbers, they're remaining very healthy and strong. So as things are coming on the market, they're moving. And we're going to jump into some statistics here that will really clarify how fast things are moving in a general direction here in Central Maine. Now, to put this in perspective, I want to get these in the right order. So first, I want to get on to average days on market. Average days on market, the number of days that go by from the time that we list the home, it gets active on the market, to the time that it goes in escrow or under contract. Not necessarily the time it closes, but at least from list time to pending time. Looking at this number, we're going to bring it up right now. 14 days on market. So you see, we're squeezing right back to where we were a year ago, right back to where we were. Things are clicking up. The spring market has been very hot, very fast. As things are coming on, they're moving off. By and large, a lot of homes, and again, this isn't for every market, this isn't for every town, this isn't for every price point, this is average. So we look at the number of sales, and we'll talk about average price point, by the way, before we get to the end, so you have an idea of what that might be. 14 days on market. So that means the average home, if you put it all together, 2 weeks on the market, going to be going under contract. Very likely scenario if you are in the average price point and your average marketplace. So what is that doing to price points? Well, we're going to look over at the price point right now. You can see we're at, just like last month, almost 103 of the sale to price ratios. This is 103% of the list price that most homes are currently selling for. Now, a little bit different than last month, and we've talked about this a little bit. This is 102.5 to 103% of the list price that is currently there, but it's actually only 101% if I look at the original list price, or 101 to 102%. That means that there have been some price reductions going on. So looks like the early spring market, things really ramped up. Perhaps things may have ramped up a little too much on the list price, because we see that those list prices are having slight price reductions before they're going under contract, but even going under contract, they're going above and beyond the original asking price of the home, regardless of the price reduction. So these homeowners are still getting what they originally wanted anyway, is what it basically is telling us here by the numbers. So let's talk about inventory. We've talked about the average days on market. We've talked about the average price point. Month supply of inventory is going to be something that we want to look at too, because remember, this is if we were to sell every home we currently have on the market, put nothing else on, just waited for everything to go under contract at current sales paces, how long would it be before that inventory was gone? Less than half a month, 0.42 months of supply. Really no big change from the last few months, and really no big change over the last year. It's been very squeezed, we all know that, but just interesting to see that really there's not enough current inventory on the market to satisfy buyer demand. Remember, an equalized market, so that's a market that is equal roughly between buyers and sellers, 6 months of supply on the market. Well, what's going on today? 6 months of supply? No, half a month or less of supply on average here in Central Maine. So, you know, we hear a lot of anecdotal things about market crashes and prices coming down. Guys, the number one thing that's influencing the price of housing right now is the number of people that want to buy homes and the number of homes that are available for people to buy. And unless you guys can tell me where this extra inventory is coming from, and yes, we have interest rates and other things going on, but so far those haven't really seemed to put a big damper on the buying activity. Where is the inventory going to come from? Until these inventory numbers go up, till this months of supply goes up, I don't see a huge change, although we might see a little leveling off, and I think we probably will as we get into the summer months. So we've done a lot of talk during this video about average, average days on market, average sale to price ratio. Well, what is the average home? Because that matters, because as you start working with your real estate agent, whether you're looking to buy or sell, you want to get a little bit more niched out as far as that particular market regarding what town it is a little more rural, how many bedrooms, what's the price point, because that's all going to shift a little bit. So we're talking average, but the average numbers do give us a good sense of trends, and that's why we go with those. Let's look at the average sale price a year ago and the average sale price here in Central Maine today. 1 year ago, the average sale price during the month of May for the Central Maine market, $261,000. Today, $287,000. So you can see there's definitely been appreciation. For all the people who last year were saying things like, oh, we're gonna wait till next year when the prices come down, you didn't really make out that well. They're not very happy with themselves. And the people who bought last year and were told not to, they're pretty happy with themselves. So you don't want to catch yourself in that situation going into next year, because there's actually probably a good chance those homes will be worth a little bit more a year from now. Granted, there's a lot of unknowns out there. It's going to be very interesting to watch what happens over the next few months. We've got interest rates, we've got inflation. There's all kinds of things happening globally and domestically right now that could influence this. But the one thing that so far is not going away, the number of people who are looking for homes and the number of homes that are available. So those are the numbers that we're going to continue to focus on here, barring some crazy circumstance that happens outside. So that's the market update for this month. I hope that was very helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed learning about that. If you have any questions at all, always reach out. And by the way, if you're currently in the market, if you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to sell a home, you just have questions about the current real estate market, go ahead and drop a comment below. I love to engage with you there. And as always, guys, I appreciate you sticking around to the end of this video. I hope it was helpful to you, but until next week, I'll see you next time.